All right, everyone, it's Peggy McColl, and I'm here with Phil Goldfine, and we are doing an event together called Masters Manifesting, and we'd love to have you join us. It is in Florida. The details are at the URL that you'll find right here, mastersmanifesting.com. But we thought we'd jump on this little interview or session together to give you a little preview of our knowledge and our understanding of how to manifest. And so I invited Phil to join me here. So Phil, I want to ask you a question. Like, when you first got into studying success and creating success, was that something that you did many, many years ago, or what? So what was the evolution for you to get involved in this?
You know, it's a great question. I was always interested in the subject. I know that even when I was in my 20s, I was reading Think and Grow Rich.
Really?
But I didn't really understand it. I mean, I read it, but it didn't really resonate with me. It really wasn't until I met Bob Proctor and read his book that it really started taking hold, and I really started feeling, okay, this is something that I can achieve. I know I can do it. And it just morphed from there.
Right on. That's cool. So I wonder if it happens like when you got a desire, like was that when you just decided I'm going to earn an Oscar, or was it after meeting Bob when you realized that you could manifest anything that you decided that you're going to win an Academy Award?
Well, it really started probably a little bit prior to Bob, where I just wanted to make more money. I mean, I just never felt that I was making enough money, like so many people, right? And so I thought, how can I do it? How can I, at the time I didn't even know the word manifest, but I thought, how can I make more money? And then all these books started popping up. I would see stuff from Daniel Conant, and of course Bob's books. And then I just thought, okay, wow, there's something here. And then it was through Bob that I learned the term manifestation. And from there, I just never looked back. And then I thought, wow, you can get everything. I could get an Oscar, I can get an Emmy. I'm going for my second Oscar, Tony's, money, everything. I mean,
So true.
there's no limits.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't even recognize that there aren't any limits. I mean, other than the ones that are within the realm of nature, right? Like I know I can't go on top of this roof, jump off, and safely land on the ground, even if I have a positive attitude.
Right.
But I do know there's no limit to what I can create in my life and manifest in my life. And you're absolutely right. This is applicable for all areas: health, to fitness. I mean, you've achieved a number of objectives with your swimming as well, and fitness goals, to money, to awards, to any kind of achievement. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that. And I wonder why. Like, what is it that prevents people from creating any success in their life? What do you believe it is?
Oh, I think it's really simple. I think people don't know, and they don't know that they don't know. So,
Right.
if you don't know about it, or if you've kind of heard about this, manifestation or the law of attraction, you don't really understand what it is. And even worse, you don't believe it. So if you mix those two things up, you're going to really not ever get the results that you want to get. So
That's true.
you really got to study this stuff, and you have to understand it, and you just have to do it.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm answering the question.
Yeah, definitely answering the question. I also think that, a big part of it, you mentioned that people don't know, and they don't even know that they don't know. I think it's also that I see a lot of people who go to the seminars over again, or they're proud of themselves and patting themselves on the back because they're reading the books, but yet what they're not doing is they're not applying it into their life.
Exactly.
And I think there's a couple of reasons why they don't apply it. And one of those reasons is they don't know what to do. And I think that's one of the things that you and I are definitely going to be sharing with people at the Masters Manifesting, are the practical things that you can do in order to produce the results that you want.
That's such a good point. And you've got to do it every single day. It's like going to school. It is studying this material. It is having a very strict list of what you're going to do every single day. And you have to be taking action, massive action, to move forward with what you want to manifest.
Right. Yeah.
And I think if you can study it as well as just take the massive action, could you imagine? I mean, there truly is no limitations. There really is.
I agree. I recently heard the following, and the following was, you've got to blend or merge your wants with discipline. So you can have the desire. It's like you have the desire to earn more money, but without the discipline, it's not going to happen.
That's a really good point. Yes,
right?
it's just like in sports. I mean, I have this desire to win a swimming record, but it doesn't happen unless I get up every single morning and I train with the team. It's not going to happen. I mean, I can't just sit at home and say, okay, I'm going to win this world record, not be in shape, not know anything about swimming. Right? That's a really great analogy, Peggy.
Yeah,
I,
it's true. Like I know this morning I got a text from you. It was 5 a.m. your time. And you sent me a message saying you're heading to the pool and we're going to get on a call later. And even today, I mean, you're shooting a movie where you are, you're a busy guy, but you take the time, right? You take the time. And I think that sometimes people get so overwhelmed with what they think they have to do that they also don't understand the simplicity of it. That when you get into these habitual ways of being, that you can just consistently get better and better results, and that it's not complicated. I don't think any of it's complicated.
no, it's not. It's actually really simple. It's just not easy.
Yeah.
And you got to wake up in the morning if you got a swimming goal, or you got to wake up every morning if you've got a financial goal, or you have to wake up every morning and take massive action if you want to write that book. You know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely true. I also find that we can create our own beliefs around this as well. And for me, I believe that it's so important that daily I'm in the study, that I'm programming my own conscious mind, that, every day I'm drinking water. So I, carry bottles of water with me, and I'm eating food because that fuels my physical body. If I stopped any of this, if I stopped the water, if I stopped the food, I'll be dead, right, in a matter of days. It's just the way the human body works. The same thing with our goals. If we stop feeding them, if we stop nourishing them and providing them the nutrients to have them grow, they're going to die, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
So
you bring up such a good point. It's the same thing that you and I were talking about a month or so ago, which is that you can go up really fast if you study this material and apply this material, but you can go down just as fast if you stop studying it and you stop taking action. So that's really scary. So I'd much rather be on the upswing than ever on the downswing. And I'm sure you.
totally. Yeah, I absolutely agree. When I was in New Orleans last week, my husband and I had dinner with Keith Ditta, who's a very successful businessman. And we were talking about a gentleman that used to go to all these events, and he doesn't go anymore. And Keith knows this gentleman very well. And I said, what's going on with him? And he said, interestingly enough, he's recently filed bankruptcy. And it's like, what? I mean, he used to go to all these seminars, and he was, reading all the books and totally enveloped in all of it. And he was investing a significant amount of money and time at these events. And then he stopped. And the reason why he stopped is because he thought that he knew it all. And I think that's a very dangerous place to be. And it's not a matter of knowing what we're really doing. And that's what Phil and I are doing at the Masters Manifesting event, is we're expanding our level of awareness. And we're helping you expand your level of awareness because you want to produce better results, because nothing stays the same, right? Nothing stays the same. And
Everything.
yeah, everything is always changing. And I remember one time I was sharing that story from stage about the Olympic swimmer, Mark Tewksbury, who had won a bronze medal in the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, Korea. And he went home and everyone was saying to him, hey, Mark, congratulations, you won the medal. And he said, that's not my goal. My goal was to win a gold. And they said, yeah, but you won a silver or a gold. I think he won, or a bronze, a bronze. And he said, I'm going back in 4 years. And people were saying to him, listen, you're going to be 4 years older. You're going to be competing with guys that are 4 years younger than you. You're at the prime right now. If you didn't do it now, you're never going to do it. And he didn't accept that idea. And he just decided, I'm going back and I'm going to win. And not only did he go back, but he won the gold medal. But just what you're talking about earlier, it's the discipline of getting up at 5 in the morning, or the discipline of studying the materials, the discipline of going to these events. If he hadn't applied that discipline, because, he was a young guy and his friends were going, hey, we're hitting the bars tonight, come on out and party with us. And he's like, no, I got to get up at 4 in the morning. I'm going to be in the pool. And he's in the pool for hours every single day. And as a result, he achieves something that no one can ever take away from him. And you've heard this saying, the goal is not for what you get, it's for who you become. So how has that statement really impacted you in your life?
Oh my God. I mean, I just think it's so powerful because nobody can ever take away from you what you just said. They can never take away from you what you've achieved. you know, and there's a lot of people out there who don't understand what it takes to actually achieve these types of things. That story about the Olympian is such a great story, because think about it. He could have easily just listened to everybody around him. But as you said, he didn't accept the idea. And you can do that at any age with anything. And that is so
Yeah.
powerful. Got to tell you,
Yeah. I mean,
you don't
see,
have to accept what other people say. You don't.
right. Yeah,
I
same
love
thing with health, right? Like people that have
everything.
been diagnosed with, incurable diseases. I was reading something today about a woman who had been diagnosed with terminal cancer, and she had tumors everywhere in her physical body. And she was actually in the hospital, in hospice, on her deathbed. And they gave her hours to live. And she was a young woman at the time. And she was laying in bed, and she had an out of body experience. And she realized, my time's not up. I'm coming back. And so she, re-entered her body in this experience. I guess she got so close to death, and she realized, I don't want to go. So she made a decision, right? She said, I'm not going to go. And she woke up, and the doctors were surprised that she woke up. And within a matter of weeks, cancer was gone, like completely gone from her body.
Isn't that amazing?
It's a miracle. I mean, and you and I, we experience these stories. Like I've shared the story of how when I first got divorced from my first husband, Charles, and I was a single mom and I had no money, but I had a desire, and that was to own a home. I didn't want to go rent something or be in some small little place or whatever. I saw my son and I in a beautiful home, and I went looking for a home. I acted as if I already had a home, and I found a home, and I still didn't have any money, but I bought it. And I manifested that money, what some people might call out of thin air. And I mean, those kinds of things are possible. We can share story after story after story of what we've done, what other people have done that have manifested extraordinary results in their
No, it's
life.
amazing. I mean, again, it's, you know, as long as you believe it, that's all that matters. As long as you believe it and have that desire. I mean, the woman whose story you just told, that's a perfect example, because excuse me, Western
Oops.
doctors don't know everything. And the mind, I mean, I still don't think, and Bob talks about this sometimes, we still have no idea what the mind is really capable of doing. But it can do anything. At least I believe that. I believe that down to my very soul. The mind can do anything. So when you tell the story about the Olympian, or you tell the story about the woman you just did, of course, it's so obvious. It's just that we have people around us. And I think one of the things we can do at our weekend is to show how you shut those people out. You can love them, but you don't have to listen to them, and you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
them. And I think that that's so important. And I think that that's one of the things we should work at this weekend, because if you can do that, you can accomplish anything. You really can.
That's so true. That's so true. We'll also help people with building the faith as well, because what happens is when people start to entertain the idea of manifesting something great in their life, they're almost like an auto response occurs where their paradigm will start to say, well, how are you going to do that? Or where's the money going to come from? Or, you like the goals that you've set for yourself. But we'll teach you how to not only shut that out, but how do you build the belief within you, that faith that creates that unstoppable experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, we look forward to having you join Phil and myself at the Masters Manifesting event. You can find out more details, and hopefully there's still a spot available because it is selling out fast, and it will be a sold out event. We are manifesting that in our own experience in advance. So we look forward to being there, to sharing with you our ideas, our principles, and our techniques for manifesting anything that you desire in your life.
Bye, everybody.